When church leaders in Gateshead realised there were few younger people in many local Methodist churches, they decided to do something about it. Cell Church was introduced based on a series of small groups rather than larger congregations, and they met mainly in people's homes. Elaine Lindridge takes up the story.
In the beginning, I think we started to set up the cell network because we could see there was a huge decline, particularly in the 18s to 40s age group in the Methodist Church where we were working. A cell's a small group of people, usually around about 8 to a dozen people, meeting usually in somebody's home. One of the things that I think is mainly different about a cell as opposed to, say, a house group or a Bible study group is that one of our values is that we grow and we multiply. So it's not static, it's like a living thing that we expect to grow, we expect new people to join, we expect to get bigger and multiply into two groups. As time went on, we found that actually it was quite an attractive way of being church for new people coming in as well, because all of the new people who we've come into contact with because they've known an existing Christian. Again, this relational network is so important. For some of those people, they found it quite a difficult thing to take that huge step into traditional church, which they've had no background of at all, but to come and meet with a group of friends over a cup of coffee in somebody's house and talk about things of faith, well, that's a lot easier for them.
I was looking for a church that would give me an opportunity to worship in a way that I felt comfortable with, and said something to me in my life, the style of worship, the music that was used, and the form of worship. And Mind the Gap was an avenue that I could explore and gave me that.
All of the cells are linked together and they come together for corporate worship once a month, and we wanted that to be something that we were about right from the beginning, that people came expectant to meet God when they came together at worship. Alpha is integral to what we do in that throughout the work of the cell, throughout the year, we encourage people to be praying for their not yet Christian friends and family. And we hope that friends and relatives of existing Christians who are in cell will come along to the Alpha course, again through relations, and we'll learn a little bit more about who Jesus is and how Jesus is relevant to their lives. And then from that, we invite each and every person who's done the Alpha course to then join a cell. And so there we have a strategy for growth right from the beginning.
Come along to Alpha. I had to listen to what Christianity was all about and why Christians do what they do. And thought, oh, right, yeah, I'm going to have a go at this, following this Jesus. Asked Jesus into my life. And within 3 months of asking Jesus into my life, I was off the drink. I've drank since I was 15-year-old. I'm now 45.
I think I have a question at the moment for myself, really, and for lots of people who question fresh expressions of church, and that is, what is church? What are some of the basic, fundamental things that make church church? And I think one of those things is community. And I do believe that church works better when it's based around small groups. My advice to anyone setting up a fresh expression of church is don't try and do it on top of everything else that you're already doing. You really need to let some things go. The Christian faith speaks a lot about death and resurrection. A lot of fresh expressions of church I see as resurrection, but alongside that, there has to be some death as well. My hope and my prayer is that the people involved will keep on growing so much in God's Spirit that they will keep in step with what He's doing. My long-term hope is that we'll actually be running to keep up with what God's doing instead of us just trying to wonder what it's all about at times.